Good evening and welcome. This is Ed Pozzuoli, president of Tripp Scott, and with me today, I'm so honored, Betsy DeVos. Betsy, welcome.
Thank you, Ed.
Betsy is the chairman of the American Federation of Children and is a true pioneer. When I say pioneer, I mean it in the real sense of the school choice movement across the country. I know you've given time and energy and money and strategic advice and all those great things. And so, given that you're the pioneer, where does the school choice movement stand in the United States?
Well, first of all, Ed, thanks for having me here today, and it's really an honor to be here. So education choice has made some tremendous strides in the last 3 to 4 years. Now there are 24 states currently that have some form of a private school choice program, education choice program. And we advocate for and do the politics around all forms of choice. So we believe that parents, and we target programs that are specifically geared to answer the needs of low-income parents and students. We believe that they should have the full range of choices.
So what are they? Give our audience a...
Well, starting with private schools, which is probably the most difficult form to get to politically in people's minds. Charter schools, online schools, virtual schools, blended learning, any combination thereof, and frankly, any combination or any kind of choice that hasn't yet been thought of. Education savings accounts, that's a new one as well.
Good one, right?
So we change policy through political effort to elect or defeat candidates in states based on this issue, their support or lack of support for the issue. Then we work on the policies, the legislation, the actual programs that they would consider, and we advocate to get those passed in those legislatures and with the governors. Once they're passed, we help to help parents and kids to find schools and schools to find parents and kids.
So not only do you help with the politics and the legislation, you also help the actual parents with the opportunities that now are available to them.
Exactly. Because so often, especially low-income parents, we have to use different ways to inform them or make them aware of these opportunities.
Right.
Help them with the application process, because most of them are means tested, help them with finding the resources to be able to make the application, and really just helping the programs be successful. Indiana is a really great example.
Good example.
You know, this is only, I think, the 3rd or 4th year of the program. It's already the largest voucher program in the country.
Yep.
And the demand is huge. Not all of the parents and the students that apply are able to get into the program every year. So there's going to be a demand for more providers, more schools, more opportunities for entrepreneurs and innovators and creators to come in and start new ways of approaching education.
So in Indiana, there's the voucher program, but just to give our viewers an understanding, lower income families are also now have the choice of charter schools.
Absolutely.
They also have the choice of turnaround schools in Indiana.
Yep.
And as well as the normal traditional public schools, which are now having to compete with these other options.
Exactly.
What are we seeing results? I mean, we're looking at results oriented for the benefit of the child. Are we seeing that?
We definitely are seeing the results. And you know, so many people get focused on school buildings and the results of buildings. And I encourage them to really look at each individual child, because that's what we're really concerned about, right? How much is one kid learning, or how much is one kid getting turned on to new opportunities and new things that they haven't even been introduced to previously.
Right. Now, I know that Florida is a dear spot in your heart.
Yeah.
You live here, and so tell us a little bit about what's going on in Florida and some of the developments in the school choice movement here.
Well, Florida, I always cite Florida as really the farthest along in terms of providing the widest range of choices and the greatest access to those choices of any state in the country. And from a political standpoint, having real bipartisan support for these choices. Because today, and I will cite the very successful tax credit scholarship program with over 70,000 children participating this year. That program, however, is under attack by those who are defenders of the status quo And that will have to be litigated, but we're very confident that as that program and all the choices in Florida continue to grow, and as more students find success because of those choices, the constituency for choices, the full range, is going to continue to be very strong and grow even stronger.
So those opportunity scholarships, explain to our viewers what that is.
The Tax Credit Opportunity Scholarship is a tax credit against corporate taxes in the state of Florida. So if you have a business that pays Florida state corporate taxes, you can redesignate up to, I believe it's 75%
Right.
of your corporate tax burden to the state annually into a scholarship fund. That scholarship fund then is vouchered out or given out in incremental amounts
Right.
to low-income students and their families to choose the school or education setting that's going to work best for them.
So then the child and their family can use the voucher and attend a private school or a parochial
Exactly.
school or whatever.
Exactly.
And since there are no state monies involved, it's all essentially private monies with the tax credit method.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, because those funds never go into the state coffers to begin with.
So for some of our corporate partners who will watch this,
It's
there's
a great
clearly an
opportunity.
for them.
Absolutely it is.
Talk a little bit about in Florida the charter school movement, because that's another element of choice in Florida.
Well, the charter school movement in Florida continues to be strong and grow even stronger. And
About a quarter million kids, right?
Exactly. Charter Schools USA, great provider of great opportunities for kids. Having visited one with John and Sherry Hage
Yeah.
not too long ago, very impressed with the approach to learning, to education there. And charter schools are a very vibrant option and opportunity for parents in Florida too.
I think that's true. And so what do you think the future of the choice movement is in the United States?
Well, I think as more and more parents realize that their children's future opportunities really are tied directly to the ability of each of their children to grow and develop to their fullest potential, in other words, get a good education, they are going to become more demanding of that opportunity, of wider opportunities, because there are far too many educational settings that just aren't meeting the needs of all of the today's kids. And we think about the system that most kids are attending today, the traditional public schools, and it's a system that was brought to us 200 years ago
Right.
by the Prussians, very much an industrial factory model of education, and how much our society has changed today.
Right.
Technology has brought so many new opportunities, and we need to embrace that, and not only embrace it, but be bold about it and allow people who are innovative and creative to come and help us think differently about how we could do education.
And so the choice movement is truly what they call a disruptor in a certain sense.
It is indeed. It is indeed. And the more of a marketplace we have for education, the more, I think, the better in general kids are going to do educationally, and certainly the better individually kids are going to be able to do.
And ultimately that's the key.
And that is the key.
Well, with that, Betsy, I really do. I want to take this opportunity and thank you again for your great work in this area and providing unbelievable educational choices across the country, particularly for those who need it most. And so thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you for your work.
Appreciate it.